Hello, everybody, or Yate, as we say in Navajo, which means greetings. My name is Jonathan Ez. I am the former president of the Navajo Nation and now running for Arizona's 2nd Congressional District and vying to be the first Native American or indigenous person to be elected from Arizona to the U.S. House of Representatives. As I traveled throughout the district, and this district is one of the largest in the country. It's over 59,000 square miles. It's larger than the state of Pennsylvania. Out of the 22 tribes here in Arizona, 14 of them are in this district. And as I traveled all around the state in this district, from Kayenta, Arizona to Tuba City, all the way down to Prescott Valley, and Florence, Coolidge, the city of Maricopa, all the way back up into the White Mountain region. One of the top priorities that our voters and our people have brought to our attention is the need for infrastructure, new infrastructure, and to also repair the aging infrastructure in rural Arizona. One priority within that is water security, getting clean drinking water into these communities, especially those communities that have seen big growth in the area. And so it is important for us to bring in those resources, bring in the dollars so that we can expand water, electricity, broadband telecommunication into the most rural parts of Arizona. And the past administrations have done just that, and we got to build upon that. And those are much of the needs, including lowering the costs of the price of foods, also, and the gas as well. Congress has the ability to hold large corporations accountable. I mean, look, they're having record profits, but yet we consumers are still paying a lot for food and services, and also for gas prices. And I think it's about time that we hold large corporations and companies accountable for overpricing their items. I want to say thank you to AFSCME for the invitation to be here for the vice presidential debate watch event. And I appreciate Roman and the officers here with Local 2960 and all the membership that are putting this on. And we appreciate the unions, and that's what we're going to be really focusing our attention on. That we got to make sure that our workers that are helping build this nation get their compensation that they deserve, and also what is owed to them, not just for them, but for their family as well. Because we owe a lot to our workers that are making this country a great country.
Kamala Harris created Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut. We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process. Nora.
Thank you, Margaret.
And the same thing goes with this. And I ask you out there, teachers, nurses, truck drivers, whatever, how is it fair that you're paying your taxes every year and Donald Trump hasn't paid any federal tax in the last 15 years? I'm a union guy on this. I'm not a guy who wanted to ship things overseas, but I understand that, look, we produce soybeans and corn. We need to have fair trading partners. That's something that we believe in. The vice president's not responsible for those. Congress writes those.
Governor, thank you. Gentlemen, we have a lot to get to. You're passionate about the housing crisis.
Donald Trump becomes president, all of these terrible consequences are going to ensue. But in reality, Donald Trump was president. Inflation was low. Take-home pay was higher. Inflation crisis caused by Kamala Harris's policies make housing affordable, make groceries affordable, and that's what we're focused on. But I want to answer your question because you did ask it. Look, what President Trump has said is that there were problems in 2020, and my own belief is that we should fight about those issues, debate those issues peacefully in the public square, and that's all I've said, and that's all that Donald Trump has said. Remember, he said that on January the 6th, the protesters ought to protest peacefully. And on January the 20th, what happened? Joe Biden became the president. Donald Trump left the White House, and now, of course, unfortunately, we have all of the negative policies that have come from the Harris-Biden administration. I believe that we actually do have
Donald Trump's inability to say. He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
What do I think? Well, I think that they're both doing well, but I think that Walz is really holding his own for sure. I mean, I'm for him all the way, so that is definitely a biased answer. But I think they're asking the right questions. I don't know, I think they're being politicians on some of the answers, kind of redirecting and stuff. But no, so far I think they're discussing the problems that we have, and we're hearing both sides, and we can all decide on our own. I've already made a decision myself.
Yes, I feel like the debate is going well. I think JD is holding his own. But again, I go back to what I heard him and saw him say on TV about he's going to make up any story to get the media's attention. So some of the things that I know he was false on, I'm sure he justified it in his own mind, saying he was just getting attention. But I think really he's performing for an audience of one, and that's Donald Trump.
Honestly, I'm just tired of Vance making up all stories and not having any true facts. It's always point a finger at somebody else, rehash the nonsense that he's come up with before. I mean, it's nice to see Walz stepping up to the plate and hitting him with his own facts, but I don't see it going to change anything other than I hope the public is aware of this nonsense.
I think Governor Walz is doing a fine job. I think J.D. Vance is sticking to Trump's playbook: lie, 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 deny, deny, deny. If caught, just continue to deny. Try to put words in the mouth of a distinguished governor, a distinguished congressman. Try to put him on the defensive, which isn't working. So I think he needs to go to school with Donald Trump a little more.
Well, I think Governor Walz is doing a fantastic job. I think he's holding his own. There's a couple of really great quotes that are going to be sound bites tomorrow, so I think that's a wonderful thing. And as far as Vance, I wish Vance would answer the questions instead of repeating a question with a question. And that's always been the problem with me, instead of just answering a question. Although he did right now, Walz just asked him straight out, do you believe that the 2020 election was certified? And he did not answer that, because if he did answer that, that would have been a real problem with Trump. So he knew he could not answer that. Now, although I will say one thing though. One of the things I thought very interesting is that they are agreeing with each other a lot about some issues, which is kind of interesting to me. So with that being said, I think that's coming out very, very amicable, which is kind of not a bad thing. So, but I think Walz is really holding up his own, which is a really great thing. I was a little bit worried because he himself said he was not a great debater, but I got to tell you, he's doing a fantastic job, and I'm really proud of what he's been doing.
Well, first of all, it would be nice if JD would actually answer the question that he was asked and not slide off into his own comments. Second of all, it would be great if he would admit to the facts and not invent fantasy. I believe he is much better polished than Trump is, but you're a liar, you're a liar. It doesn't matter how polished you are.
I think that it's pretty one-sided, but I don't think that there's a winner. I'm favoring, of course, Walz, and I think he's been more thorough in his answers and less evasive. But the other candidate, Vance, he's a replica of his leader, and there's no direct answers. There's evasiveness, and it's just imbalanced.